My friend was willing to be hooked up to the lab because I used a technical and scientific approach. Even though he started out as a reluctant subject, he really got into the session. Now here was a man who believed in nothing beyond the physical realm. But during his session he described himself as being guided into a dimension quite foreign to the one with which he was familiar. He encountered beings of a different nature, and when he came to the realization that he was on an unidentified flying object, apparently from another dimension, he freaked out and came back into his body instantly. The scientist's rapid re-entry into the physical realm was clearly precipitated by fear. Fear can have a positive protective purpose, but when misdirected, fear can also be a deadly enemy of the human race, a blockage that can keep us from being fully human and fully alive. Bob said with a faraway look that the scientist, who was so shocked and confused by his experience that he refused to come back for another session. He didn't believe in guidance, out-of-body travel, or UFOs, so how would it be possible for his reality to handle such an experience? The way he handled it was to deny that it ever happened. It's a shame that his scientific mind didn't have a desire to explore itself. After about a year of explorer sessions, Bob decided to bring his explorers together for a fly-in one weekend. I was fascinated to meet those I had heard about. Bob's purpose was for all explorers to go out of body and have a rendezvous. Two explorers did bump into each other in a non-physical dimension, but I didn't have any dramatic happening that weekend, except for meeting the other explorers, and meeting them in the physical world was as exciting to me as meeting them out of body. Looking back, I realized that my invisible helpers had a specific plan laid out for our research and explorations, and Bob's weekend rendezvous didn't fit in with that agenda. Bob always called me a real trooper because I had no fear of moving into new and untapped zones. As our exploring sessions continued, the out-of-body phenomena became more and more intriguing. Like Bob's mystery scientist, I was having all kinds of unusual experiences. Our sessions became increasingly fascinating because we had no idea where they would lead, and we were always surprised by the results. I began to realize as the sessions unfolded that they were designed from a higher level than I myself could understand. There was a progressive pattern in the explorations, and Bob and I were more than eager to cooperate with the planned events. Chapter 4: Invisible Helpers. When you have a good team, you can accomplish anything. I was soon to learn that I had an amazing team of invisible helpers. They were obviously familiar with human psychology, having decided to assign just 2 light beings to work with me during the first session, and then to bring in others when I was more familiar with the process. Either they didn't want to overwhelm me with too much to comprehend all at once, or they wanted to see how well I would work with invisible helpers, or both. I need to clarify here several of Bob's technical terms that apply to the session that follows. As Bob experimented with and created various levels of hemisync sounds using his binaural beat and frequency following response system, he was able to create specific inner states, focus states, to which he gave numbers. A great deal of experimentation lay behind the technology, and the states he was able to induce were the miracle of his extensive research. They are as follows: Focus 10, in which the mind is awake but the body is asleep. Focus 12, in which a person has expanded awareness. Focus 15, in which levels of no time are reached. And Focus 21, in which one moves into other energy systems. When I got settled in the check unit one day in an early session, Bob ran through the preliminaries, concluding with having me repeat my affirmation mentally and letting him know when I was finished. Then I went into my usual exercises as the session began. Real time, 28 minutes. Ram says this. And then her answer: an energy pattern is building up around me, and I am ready to work with some energy inside this compact energy ball. I am told to build a bar of energy to cleanse my physical body and get out all impurities, starting with my head. Ram: very good. Do it carefully and thoroughly. I've finished. I'm ready to continue. Ram: now let your whole self move into this state of expanded awareness we call Focus 12. Let yourself move into 12 with the method you have learned. Her answer: at 12, I went into a relaxed state, almost unconscious. It is a very relaxed state. I felt the presence of someone. This presence seemed to be waiting for me to go into a more deeply relaxed state. I felt the energy balloon begin to rise and float. I was floating inside. I got the feeling that my physical body was going to let go of this energy balloon with my energy body inside, and that it was going to float on out into a weightless atmosphere. There is an energy presence, or maybe more than one energy presence here working with me, and they are going to, I'm not sure what they are going to do. Ram: ask them what they are going to do next. Okay, I sense the presence of 4 helpers with me, including the 2 who were with me the last time. They are standing around me, and I have a very good feeling in their presence. They're here to keep me balanced and work with me in the body and out. A 5th presence, an energy being, is now with them. They're going to try some experiments with my energy body. The last energy being is going to work through my body and implant energy. It's like a yin and yang energy. Ram: would you like to do this? Yes, the energy being wants to project a ray of light into my energy body while I am going through this very relaxed state. Let's see what happens. Now I am watching and experiencing at the same time. The 4 helpers lifted my body out, and I felt light and really good. The light ray that was projected into my energy body was energizing and protective, and had a lightening effect on my body. Then I sensed that the energy being was talking about how they would experiment by using my body as a transmitting set between dimensions, and that I will be able to step out. They talked a little about that before, and I just saw how it would happen. I will be able to step out and be with these helpers, and still be able to observe if I would like to. I got the feeling that I would stay and listen, or I could go and do some exploration. They are very warm, friendly helpers. Ram: do they want to do any other experiments now? They would like to use the light beam to communicate through my vocal cords, and I am to observe. Ram: okay, do what they suggest and see what happens. And then she spoke in a different voice. I am speaking through these vocal cords. I would like to speak to the young lady as she observes what is taking place. The physical body is seeming to heat up very rapidly. Sometimes it will be in a cool state, at other times it will be in a heated state. The molecules of the energy body, which are working through her physical body, are vibrating at a more rapid rate. Therefore, at this time, there is a feeling of heat surrounding the body. I am going to show this young lady how it will work with the energies of her physical body and protect and keep it in its most pure form while I work through her. Ram: thank you for your care in working with her. I am going to change the level within this body from the heated state to the cool state. The balloon of energy which she has built up around her can be rapidly changed for various purposes. I want her to be aware of how we work with the energy levels. She will experience a coolness. I want this young lady to experience the various energy sensations so that she will understand and know how I will work and how we will work together. We will cool the molecules that surround and fill this body. It is being experienced at this time. Ram: go with the flow and report back what is happening. The young lady will understand what is happening when we project light into her energy body, which you might call her soul. There will be a feeling of warmth.